What's up guys, my name is Ricardo Neiva, otherwise known as Cine, and today we're going to be breaking down the 7 elements of photography that you need to know. So let's hit the intro. La da 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 da. Cool, so the 7 elements of photography can be used in art, photography, film, and various other creative disciplines, but we're going to be looking at it through the lens of filmmaking and photography. Now, what are the 7 elements of photography? It is texture, line, shape, color, form, space, and tone. And these elements are all there to help us think about how we can create an even more amazing image that draws our audiences into the image or film, and also allows the audience to get clarification or to create some visually stunning pieces. So with that being said, let's jump into texture.
So texture is the quality of the surface of an object that you are recording. It can take your photos from really boring and dull and add a whole other visceral element to it because you're focusing on the intricacies of the objects. For example, if you're taking a photo of a landscape, we all do the standard center shot like this picture of this church. But if you focus on the texture of something within that landscape, you can add a whole lot of dimension to your photo and completely create a new and interesting composition. For example, look at this photo of the steps where I focused on the texture of the steps. But that's texture. Let's talk about leading line. Cool, now leading line. Leading line is any object within your frame that causes a natural line and draws your audience's attention to the subject of the photo or video. It can be a vertical line, a horizontal line, a diagonal line, a circular line, but basically it draws your audience's attention to the subject of the photo. In fact, we're using it right now to draw the audience's attention to me while I'm talking to you guys. As you can see right here, everything around this image is a leading line. It's a centered leading line, and it's drawing the audience's attention to me. Another example of a leading line is this one. Let me show you. Okay, as you can see right here, this is a very boring photo. The lines, there's nothing drawing to the audience's attention except for the fact that Carl is over there. So if we take this photo, obviously we can see that he is not really framed in any sort of interesting way. There's nothing that draws us to him except for the fact that he's just standing out in a color of green. But let's say we bring the camera over yonder and we add some line over there and we add some line over here. Obviously, we're now drawing the audience's attention to Carl, so yeah. Color is one of the most important visual elements in photography, filmmaking, design, art, and so many other disciplines because of the impact it has on an audience. It can draw the audience's attention to the subject matter or can have the exact opposite effect, completely ruining the intention of the photo. It can make an image feel cohesive and peaceful or have the opposite effect and make us feel weird and disgusted, depending on the intention of the creative. And that's why it's important to understand color. That's why we've created a color wheel and various color schemes that help us as artists, designers, and other disciplines to create appeasing images. But that's enough about color. Let's talk about shape. Cool. Shape looks at the way you place the objects within your frame and use their natural form to create interesting compositions, to draw the audience's attention to the subject, to add visual subtext, to add depth, and a whole variety of other cool things. For example, right now we're using the frame of this roof right here to add a frame within a frame and draw your attention to me while I'm speaking. But that's all on frame. Let's talk about tone.
Right, tone. Tone refers to the levels of brightness inside your image. That means we're looking at the brightest point of your image all the way to the darkest point and seeing how the light transitions from that bright point all the way to the dark point. Now it's super important because tone is crucial in creating a mood because lighting is the biggest tool for creating mood. Because by taking away light, we can make it seem really dark and mysterious. But by adding light, we can make it seem bright and happy and all that good stuff. And playing with our transitional levels, you know, you start getting all that mood, getting it all romantic and stuff. So, you know, understand your tone so you can create that mood for your photo. Anyway, let's jump to the next one. Space can be understood in a couple of ways. It can be understood as the space around your subject, aka negative space and positive space, or it can be how we position the various elements in our photograph in order to create depth, that being foreground, midground, and background. The use of space is to help us define what we want our audience to see and feel within our frame. And it's there to help us as artists choose how we want to position ourselves in relation to our environment in order to do so. Let's go to form.
The final element in the 7 elements of photography is form. Now, form is taking the two-dimensional medium that is film and photography and giving it that three-dimensional feel. Now, the reason why we do this is just like all the other 7 elements of photography, is to help the audience understand what's happening in the image, to give something that will draw them into that image, and to provide context on what's happening in the image, or not, depending on what you're trying to do. But the magical ingredient to form is light. Now, the reason why light is the magical ingredient is because light transforms shape into form, because when it hits an object, it defines the object and makes it feel three-dimensional. That is form for you all, ladies and gentlemen. Cool, so that's the 7 elements of photography. Hopefully you now know what they are, how you can use them, and hopefully it will help you elevate your photography and filmmaking to the next level. If it did, please help this video go to the next level by liking, sharing, subscribing, you know, all that funky, funny stuff. Remember, if you want to be part of the Cine community, hit that subscribe button right now. Do it. I'm waiting for you to do it right now. You did it? Great stuff. Good. Welcome to the fam. Anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to follow Cine and all the other social media platforms as well. I hope you have a fantastic day. I love your faces. Goodbye. La da 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 da.